Hi there! How about we do a quick, fun project? Something with lasers and fire.
You may have heard of Occam's razor, but a relatively new razor has been proposed called Alder's razor, or more commonly known as Newton's flaming laser sword.
This razor states that what cannot be settled by experiment is not worth debating.
We don't really care about any of that. We just want to see what an actual flaming laser sword looks like. Because it's a philosophical concept, we get to decide what it looks like.
Let's build one. The first thing we need is a sword. We found this one here on eBay for pretty cheap that will work just great for this project. Long blade, nice big handle, Valerian steel, perfect.
For the flame, we decided to use propane. High pressure, but we can control that to make a nice projectile flame.
We need lots of propane, so by removing the end of the propane torch and unscrewing the small nozzle, we can get the maximum gas throughput.
We attached the high pressure hose and secured it with a hose clamp. On the sword end, we got a small push button valve and secured the hose to that. Now, when we press the button, the gas comes out.
The flame emitter part of the gas line was a little more complicated. We wanted to have one flame on either side of the blade. To do this, we flattened a 3/8 inch piece of copper tubing to allow us to insert two smaller copper tubes. We then crimped these down and soldered it into place. This is the low pressure side of the valve, so we're not worried about pressure failures.
Using a compression fitting, we attached the large copper tube to the valve and ready for our first test. Open some gas, light it up, it's working perfectly.
We need to attach it to the sword handle so we can operate the valve while swinging the sword around. This was a quick project, so we just used a hose clamp wrapped with some electrical tape to keep everything in place.
So we bent the thin gas tubing to wrap around the guard and come out parallel to the blade. Last step was to attach a laser.
We had a nice bright green laser handy and decided to attach that to the handle too. Nothing that can't be accomplished with a little tape. Now we have a laser running down the length of the blade.
We considered adding an electronic spark igniter, but that becomes tricky when the gas is rushing out at really high speed. Because this is just a test project, we decided to light the sword with a butane torch and call it good.
So here's the finished product, our Newton's flaming laser sword. Let's go outside in the dark and see how it works.
Scientists and philosophers are always disagreeing. So let's see how Socrates here stands up against a hardcore experimental science.
Or how about some propane-filled balloons? You know these guys are always up for a debate. Alright, that was a quick fun project we put together for you guys. We hope you enjoyed it, and remember to subscribe so you can stay up to date on all our latest projects and videos. Thanks for watching.